Welcome back to Tea Talk, where we drink the tea and talk about all the tea. Hello, everyone. I hope you've been your beautiful selves at the start of the new year. And you know what that means? It's time for a makeup palette review of 2020 with some of the most notable launches of palettes for the year of 2020 and some of the most not notable ones of 2020. So let's get started. But first, let us take a sip out of our beautiful Kingdom Hearts little mug that I got for Christmas. So first, let's get started with some of our YouTube content creators. And I'm going to be honest, guys, it's kind of flooded with one particular YouTube content creator that I'm pretty sure we all know about. Because, surprisingly enough, the makeup industry for YouTubers was kind of sparse this year. And try as I might, I only found 2 people that came out with palettes this past year, and I'm kind of concerned about that. But let's get into it. So first and foremost is going to be Jeffree Star. He released a total of 4 makeup palettes this year. It's kinda crazy. Or past year, I should say. So starting off with the Bloodlust palette that had a lot of controversy behind it because half of the palette you can't even use around your immediate eye area. It is full of beautiful pinks and purples, a little bit of red, a little bit of white, etc. Now, Jeffree Star did face a lot of controversy with this palette because a lot of people were like, this is not purple enough. There's too many pinks. Other people, myself included, was like, it needs complementary colors. That's why there's pinks in there. However, a lot of people had damaged palettes that came into the mail last year. And some other notable mentions is that there's terrible fallout in this particular palette of his. So if you take a look, you could see all of the beautifulness that is the fallout, especially from our color Deviant over there. And also, some of the packaging has some fraying in it, which is also never a good thing. So Jeffree took a hit on this palette this year. But that was not his most controversial palette of this year. So this year, I'm going to say his most controversial one was this one. That's right, we're talking about Cremated. Now, granted, no one thought there was going to be a pandemic going on. No one thought that there was going to be lots of people dying this year, and I am not making light of this situation because it's absolutely freaking terrible. But Jeffree Star, unfortunately, had planned his goth palette in the midst of all of this. It's been in the works for a long time, as we saw with his Shane Dawson series. With the controversy palette, it takes a while to make these things, so it's been in the works for a while, and when he released it, people didn't like it, because one, it was called Cremated, about death, and the pandemic was going on, and unfortunately for Jeffree, people just didn't like that. It's unfortunate for him, because it was just bad timing, but no one could plan around a pandemic that they didn't know about. So, his other palette that he released this past year was the Orgy and Orgy Mini palette. It was only slightly controversial because of its name, and some of the names in the palette itself. Just take a look. I mean, I'm not one to get offended by eyeshadow palette names, but there were still people crying on the internet about it. But that's okay. That's alright. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And his last palette that he released on November 13th of 2020 was his Blood Money collection to go with his other blood collection. So the Blood Money collection was inspired. It had greens in it. Beautiful greens in it. But again, people can never be satisfied because when someone is successful, they still gotta whine about it. But who am I to say anything about that? Now, for our last YouTube content creator that also released a palette this year, it's going to be Patrick Star. Funny how everyone seems to have Star in their name. So this is the beautiful palette right here. It's gorgeous. This is part of Patrick Star's one size collection. It's beautiful. It has nudes and a little pop of blue just in case you want to be on the crazy side. And this palette was released on July the 17th of last year. Also, if you want to look it up, just type in Patrick Star Visionary Palette and it should pop up. now we're going to look at some of our commercial releases. There's honestly too many to count, so I just picked out some that I knew of off the top of my head and some that I didn't know about at all. So first things first, we're going to go with Makeup by Mario. This is sold at Sephora and it released on October the 2nd of 2020. It's called The Master of Metallics, and the reviews are amazing for it. They're like, hello metallics? It just pops out of nowhere and is amazing. Now, for my all-time goodie and favorite makeup company that I absolutely adore, e.l.f. Cosmetics. So back in December, or maybe late November, they released these. The Mint Collection. So there is Mint to Be, which is mostly all green, pastel green, and there's Chocolate Mint that has the one main proprietary green in there, and your neutral browns in there as well. Also, which is amazing that I didn't know about this one right here, they released a eyeshadow vault that is glitter, liquid glitter eyeshadow vault. It is amazing. It has nudes. It has pops of color in there. It's amazing. And that released back in November. And now for our last commercial release was the Tart Sugar Rush Star Chasers collection. This was a late arrival for the year 2020. It released on December the 26th. So not a lot of people have gotten their grubby little mitts on it just yet. But they also came out with a brush to go along with this collection as well. It's really cute. Love the packaging. It's super adorable. And this has nudes and it has a beautiful pop of color in it. And it is amazing. I absolutely adore it. So in further review, let's go through this list one more time just in case you missed the release dates or I forgot to talk about them, which I probably did. So the first one of the year from our YouTube content creators was Jeffree Star with the Bloodlust collection that released on February the 21st. Then his Goth collection cremated palette that released on May 22nd of this year. The Orgy and Mini Orgy that released on August the 21st. And his last one, which was Blood Money on November 13th of 2020. Patrick Star with his One Size collection, the Visionary Makeup Palette, with nudes and a little bit of blue in there that released on July 17th. And for our commercials, Makeup by Mario, October 2nd, e.l.f. Cosmetics, December and November of last year, and Tart Sugar Rush of December 26, 2020. And that's all I had for you guys today for our makeup palette of the year's review of what I could find. I'm hoping that 2021 will be much better for our makeup palette releases because honestly, we need more. I want more. I want to see like crazy colors come out in new collections of this year so we could talk about them and all that jazz. So take up your glass, drink your tea, and comment down below what your favorite palette of this year was. Which one do you still use for 2020 and then 2021? And which one surprised you the most or which one's disappointed you the most? Because honestly, I was disappointed in some palettes this year, but who am I to say? I'm watching you type right now. I'm looking at you. Anyways, everyone, I hope you stay your beautiful selves, and I will talk with you guys and see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!